The search for James and Jennifer Crumbley is over. They are the parents of 15-year-old Ethan Crumbley, the accused school shooter, killer of 4 classmates and wounding 7 others, including a teacher in Oxford, Michigan, last Tuesday. James and Jennifer Crumbley did not show up for a court date today and were considered by law enforcement to be fugitives from justice. Tonight, the U.S. Marshals Service releasing most wanted posters of both James and Janet Crumbley, announcing a $10,000 reward for information leading to their capture. And a short time ago, their Kia SUV found abandoned in East Detroit, and as officers swarmed the area, both were found and arrested. They were reportedly hiding in a basement.
James Crumbley is charged with 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter. Jennifer Crumbley is also charged with 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter.
Their son Ethan Crumbley charged as an adult with 24 crimes, including first-degree murder, attempted murder, and terrorism, after investigators say he stormed through the school armed with a semi-automatic handgun that prosecutors say his father James bought for him and failed to adequately secure.
The Taliban have ordered a new decree on women's rights in the country, an issue they've obviously faced significant pressure on from the international community. Among other issues, the statement addresses marriage and says, quote, a woman's consent is necessary and that no one can force a woman to marry by coercion or pressure. It says a woman is not a property, but a noble and free human being. It also orders rights for widows, stating, after the death of a husband, no one can marry a widow by force, including her relatives. But the order makes no mention of employment rights or education. The decree comes as the Taliban continue to urge governments to release funds as they grapple with a growing humanitarian crisis.
U.S. intelligence is warning that Russia is planning a massive military invasion against Ukraine involving some 175,000 troops as soon as early next year. The Washington Post reported Saturday that an unclassified U.S. intelligence document shows satellite photos of what officials say could be 100 tactical battalion groups, as well as heavy armor, artillery, and other equipment. According to a Biden administration official who spoke anonymously, about half of the Russian forces that would be used in an invasion are already near Ukraine's border, and that Russia is moving swiftly to build up a large force of contract military reservists.
Ghislaine Maxwell's defense described Jeffrey Epstein's homes as small boutique hotels. They were very luxurious, her attorneys told the jury. They were vacation spots. Today in court, the prosecution challenged that description with what they called disturbing evidence from Epstein's Palm Beach mansion, seized during this search of his home in 2005. The video obtained by NBC News. The jury was shown a photo that was in the entrance to Epstein's master bedroom of an underage girl posing in a, quote, sexualized position. There was another photo of Epstein posing with a minor in her underwear. Prosecutors arguing the photos, alongside testimony from a former property manager, undermines the defense's argument that Epstein was an upstanding member of society.
Waiting to be examined by a doctor. These patients are here to protect themselves from yet another deadly virus. Yellow fever has killed dozens in Ghana's West Gunja district, but health officials here say despite the rising number of cases, deaths are slowing down. Yellow fever is transmitted through the bite of an infected mosquito. Symptoms are mild and can develop up to 9 days after exposure. But about 15% of those infected develop serious illness that can lead to potentially fatal bleeding and organ failure.
As Russia witnesses a surge in coronavirus infections, its death toll struck a record high at 74,893 in October. Russia has had over 575,000 deaths linked to COVID-19 since the start of the pandemic. Russia's vaccine record has been poor, according to reports, and as a result, deaths have been high, and October proved to be the deadliest month of the pandemic for Russia. Reports say that the country has not yet reported an Omicron infection. The record deaths come at a time when Russian President Vladimir Putin has been trying to boost the country's dwindling population by offering cash payments to new mothers and overhauling the healthcare system.
In a horrific incident of mob violence, a Sri Lankan national was lynched in the Pakistani city of Sialkot over allegations of blasphemy. Videos circulating on social media show hundreds of people attacking the victim, who has now been identified as Priyant Kumar. He is said to be in his 40s. The mob was seen dragging him while his body was later burnt. The Sri Lankan manager was working as an export manager at a local factory, and according to reports, the mob included factory workers as well. Attackers were heard chanting slogans of the hardline Islamist party, the Tehreek-e-Labbaik Pakistan or the TLP. Meanwhile, the Pakistani police said that they have made more than 50 arrests in the matter and that officials are now working to identify more perpetrators with the help of CCTV footage.
Authorities in Panama have seized a record haul of drug money. $10 million in cash were found in 3 hiding places in a house in Nueva Providencia. It is thought to have been stashed there by gangs linked to the Colombian drug cartel called the Gulf Clan. The money took more than 12 hours to be counted, using a dozen machines, with several failing under the strain. So far, 57 people have been arrested.